Hello. So I read a lot of series, and I don't finish them. I do not finish series, and so in my book journal, I have a series tracker. It's not only 2 pages. No. It's a third page. It's half of the third page. And so I figured, why not go through every single series that I am in the middle of, and the last book that I read in the series. And then the highlighted series that you see are either series that I decided to DNF or series that I have finished. So I'll go over. I only have one DNF in here, and that was the Camille Grace series by Kate Bold, which was like 8 books. I only read the first book, but I just wasn't invested enough to continue the series, so I DNF'd that one. Let's see, 3, 4. The other 6, I can't speak. The other 6 that are highlighted are ones that I finished. So those are, actually no, I lied. I highlighted one of those, and then they announced a new book coming in the series, so that's actually not finished. So 4, right? No, 3, 5. Okay. So Highest Bidder by Willow Winter and Lauren Landish. I read all 5 books in this series, and so there we go. And then the Sinners series by Michelle Hurd. I read all 5 books in that series. Dawn of the Alphas by Layla Sparks. I read all 3 books. Dangerous Sinners by Mila Crawford, all 5. And then The Run and Hide Duet by Alina May, the 2 books. So this is just going to be like quick fire, telling you the series name, the last book that I read in the series, and maybe what I rated it. So first one, we have A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is a 4-book series, I believe. The last one I read was A Court of Thorns and Roses. I literally last read the first one, and I gave it like 2.5 stars. Don't come for me, but like 2.5 stars. So, and then Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. Listen, I don't support the author, okay? I do not support the author. I check my copies out from the library, and I support my local library in that way. But Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, I've read, let's see, the last one I read was Order of the Phoenix. And then the Hayes Brothers series. I last read the first book, too much. Still haven't continued it. And then the Tracy Crosswhite series by Robert Dugani. This is like 12 books, I think. And I last read The Trapped Girl, which is book 4. And then the Twisted series by Anna Wong. This one is 4 books. I last read Twisted Love, the first book. So, it ends with us, Colleen Hoover. I read the first one. I just need to read the sequel. It starts with us. Madison Kate by Tate James. I last read the first book of that series. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Hate. I think it's called Hate, but read the first book in that series. And then the Arjanu series by Lindsay Sands. This one is like 30-something books, and I can't remember the last one that I read in the series because I read them out of order. So I'll just put all the ones that I have read on the screen right here. So, and then Order of the Unseen by Molly Doyle. I have read the 2 novellas in this series, but not the full books yet. And then Royal Elite by Rena Kent. I've read 2. No, I've read 1. I read Demian King out of this one. And then Mama Joe's Boys by Kimberly Van something. And I last read A Chance in the Night, which is book 2, but I haven't read book 1. So, and then the Hot and Hammered series by Tessa Bailey. This one I just have 1 book left. I just have the last book left. And then the Dark Olympus series by Katie Robert. I last read Electric Idol, which is the 2nd book. The Bellinger Sisters series by Tessa Bailey. I just have the last book left. It's just literally 2 books. I just have Hook, Line, and Sinker left. And Cedar Key by Carol J. Post. I just have the 5th book left. So, and then the Shatter Me series by Tahira Mafi. This one I have read. The last one I read was Fracture Me, which was the novella after Unravel Me. So I've read technically 4. But 2 full books and then 2 novellas. And then Runaway by Devaney Perry. I last read the first book, which is, Runaway Road. So, and then Folkhaven by Lauren, I believe, Connolly. I can't remember how many books are in this series, including novellas. I can't remember, but I'll put check marks. I don't have any left. I think I have, 3 left, maybe? And then Trails of Sin by Pam Godwin. This is a 3-book series. I last read Knotted, the first book, because you have to buy they're not on KU, so I have to buy the 2nd and 3rd book. and I just haven't gotten to that yet, so. Okay, and then we have Alpha and Omega by Patricia Briggs. This one is a long series because I'm reading Alpha and Omega, but I'm also reading the Mercy Thompson series, and they're kind of interconnected, so I'm having to like switch back and forth between the series. But Alpha and Omega, the last one I read was Hunting Grounds, and then the Mercy Thompson series, the last one I read was Moon Cult, because I was in a reading slump and couldn't read Bloodbound, so. And then the Salacious Players Club series, this one has 6 books. I am on the last book, Madam. I think that's how, yeah, Madam. So, yeah, I just have 1 book left in that series. And The Night Skulls MC by N.J. Adel. I read half of the second book, and then I just forgot everything in the first book, so I need to reread the first book, but, yeah. And then the Mafia Wars series. This is a series where different authors contributed a book to the series. The last one I read was Ruining Dahlia by C.R. Jane. That's the last one that I read. So then we have Carmel Cove by Rebecca Sharp. This one I think has like 5 books. The last one I read was the second book. I can't remember what it's called though, but the second book. And then we have Faraday Country by Chris something. This one has a lot of books, and I last read the first one, so I think the first one is called Adam. I think that's where I got that from. And then Perfect Pairs by Tamsin Baker. This one is a 3-book series. I last read the first one, which I think is Prowling Their Mate. And then we have Wild Mountain Scots by Jolie Vines, which is a 5-book series. And I last read book 2. So. And then we have Maple Hills by Hannah Grace, 3-book series. I last read Icebreaker, so I have 2 left. Then we have Off Campus by Elle Kennedy. This one, I last read The Deal. I've tried to read The Mistake multiple times, and I have DNF'd it every time because I just can't get into it. So I might have to skip it, but I'll give it another try. And then The Powell Sanctuary by A.M. Wilson. I believe I've read 2 books in this series. I think I read book 4 and book 1, I think. And then we have the, Brine Brothers series by Jill Ramsauer. I think that's how you pronounce it. I read the first one, and then I read the first novella. And then we have the Souls trilogy by Harley LaRue. I have only read her Soul to Take. I need to read the other 2. But I'm saving it for October, because they are quite literally demons and witches and paranormal, so I want to save it for October, you know. And then the Perfectly Imperfect series by Nivelle Taj. I have read the first 7 books in this series. The last one I read was Burned Dreams. Then we have Sinners and Angels by Luna Pierce. Apparently a 3-book series. I feel like that's a lie. I feel like that's more. But, yeah, the last one I read was the first one, so. And then we have the Lords series by Chantal Tessier. This is like a 6-book series, and all the books are like at least 500-something pages, but more so like 600 pages at least. I last read The Ritual, so. I am like 30 or so % into The Sinner though, so. And then we have the Vancouver something by Megan Quinn. This is like a 5-book series. I've only read 1 book in this series, and that was like a book 4, I think. Or book 2. I can't remember. Then we have Assistant to the Villain, which is like a 3-book series, I think. Or maybe 4-book. I don't know. I know that there's 3 books out, but there might be a 4th book coming, from what one of my friends said. So, but yeah, I last read the first book, because I read the first book, and, and then the other 2 weren't released yet, and so then I just got, I got sidetracked. And then the Nighthawk series by Prue Schuler. This is like a hockey romance. I last read, I think it was book 4. So I need to go through and read the rest of them. And then the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I last read Killer Instinct, so I have 3 left. 2 full books and then a novella. And then Wildflower by Amelia Rice. When I think of Wildflower, I literally think of this movie. It's so nostalgic for me for some reason. Anyway, yeah, Wildflower. I last read A Week at Dawn, so I have like 2 books left in the series, I think. And then the Fallen Men series by Gianna Darling. Listen, I read the first 2 books in this series, and then I had to just stop because book 2 broke me. Okay, book 2 absolutely took my heart and crumbled it and destroyed it. So I've been terrified to pick up another book in this series. And then I have the Ghost Alpha Unit by Lenore Rosewood. I need to reread the first book, but I read the first book before any of the other books were released. So again, I just got lost. I just got sidetracked in other things. Okay, and then we have Roommates by Stephanie Brother. This is basically like a 9-book series that are reverse harem, and they're roommates in some way. these I space out because they're basically just like good spicy palate cleansers, and because they're so similar, I don't want to read them back to back. But I'm on book 2. Well, no, I'm not on book 2. I last read book 2, which was Jock Blocked, and I'm on book 3, which is Stun Doubled. Okay, and then we have the Cozyverse. So I read A Pack for Winter. That's the only one that I've read because I found them in December. Okay. My dog is pitching a fit. Hold on. So, yeah, my dog is pitching a fit because he's a husky. It's what he does. Anyway, this series is complicated because it is technically a 4-book series, but 2 of the books don't come out until next year. And then it's a pack for autumn, a pack for winter, a pack for summer, a pack for, is it spring? I know it takes place. So I found this in December, so I read a pack for winter because it's holiday themed, obviously. And then I'm going to read a pack for autumn probably in September, so next month, or November in actual autumn time. So, because I like the vibes. So, but I will, and then the other 2 aren't coming out until next year, so. And then we have then we have Kaylee Ryan. So I have 2 of her series in progress. I have the Riggins Brothers series, which I have read beat by beat and layer by layer. So I read book 1 and I believe book 5. And then I have her Kincaid Brothers series, which I've only read 1 book in, and I think it was book 7. So there's that. There's page 2 done, and now we just have this half page to do. So then we have Where Love Meets Destiny by Mia Sheridan. This one I don't know if I'll continue. I need to read the other 2 books and read what they're about to see if I'm even interested. But I read Archer's Voice, which was the first book in the series, I believe, right? Yeah. Then we have the Griffith Brothers series by Maggie Gates. I just have 1 book left. I read Downpour and I read Fireline. I just have the first book, Duststorm. Is that it? Duststorm left. And then we have Stalker Alphas by Liliana Carlisle. This is a 3-book series. It's, oh god, what is it? I think it's Alpha Inmate, Alpha Ruined, and then Alpha Villain, I believe. And I read the first 2 books. I just have book 3 to do, and I'm going to be doing it soon. So, okay, and then the Monsters Relations Bureau. This is a 4-book series because I read Holly's Grizzly in December of last year. This one I also don't know if I'll continue. I need to read the descriptions of the other books and see if I'm even interested, but this might be a DNF. We just have to wait and see. And then, okay, and then we have a few cases where the series is unfinished, but I am caught up in the series, which is Margot Fallon. Or no, actually, I was caught up, but it's released now, so ignore that. But I am currently in the middle of the Margot Fallon series by Kate Wiley. I've read the first 4 books. I just need to read the most recent release, which came out, I think, yesterday. So, or the day before, something like that. So, but yeah, then a couple situations where, the series isn't finished yet, but I'm caught up, is the Wrong Player series by C.R. Jane, which is The Wrong Quarterback, The Wrong Play, and then I think the 3rd one is going to be The Wrong Catch. I've read the first 2 books, and then book 3 doesn't come out until next year, so, but I'm caught up in that series. And then, same thing with Moretti Empire by K.L. Mann. I've read Hidden Empire twice, and then I've read Tragic Empire, and then the 3rd book, Savage Empire, doesn't come out until, I believe, November, which I will be reading it immediately. And then the 4th and 5th book doesn't come out until next year, so. And then another series that I'm caught up on is Empire of Royals by Amelia Rossi. This one is his Tesoro, his Juliet, and then I forget what the 3rd one is going to be called. But I read the first 2, 3rd one comes out next year, so. Okay, then we're getting back into, finished series. So then we have The Soldiers of Anarchy, which just makes me think of Sons of Anarchy. But The Soldiers of Anarchy by Nikki J. Summers. I've read The Psycho. I need to read the rest of them, though. And then we have the Hockey God series by S. Massery, which is Brutal Obsession, Devious Obsession, Secret Obsession, Twisted Obsession, and there's another one. Can't remember what it's called. But, yeah, I've read Brutal Obsession, and I need to read the rest of them. Okay, then we have the Drakkar Mates by Kate Rudolph. This is, I believe, 5 books. I've read the first 2. So I just need to read the rest of them. And then we have Out by Hannah Bonny Young, which is Out of the Woods, or no, it's Out on a Limb and then Out of the Woods. I've read Out on a Limb, I just need to read Out of the Woods. And then we have the Montana Mountain series, which is 7 books. I've read the first book. I'm currently in the middle of the second book. And then we have the Ride or Die series by Lauren Beale. This is a 4-book series. I've read the first book. I'm currently reading the second book, because I read multiple books at the same time. Yeah, those are all the series that I'm in the middle of, which is like 60-something series, I think. I'll put the final number here. But yeah, literally like 60-something series. So I am so fucking bad at finishing series, and I'm trying to get better at doing that. So I'm trying to like prioritize reading my series that I'm in the middle of instead of starting new ones. And I mean, so far it's going okay. It's going okay. I just started doing that this month though, but it's been going good though so far. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys maybe got some new recommendations from this, or maybe kind of saw a book that you might be interested in. And I will see you guys in the next video.